Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. I thought I'd do a very special impromptu. This is live. This is Tuesday, 3:48 p.m., July 2nd. You might be wondering, well, gee whiz, I'm watching this not at 3:28 p.m. on July 2nd, 2024. I'm watching this on July 4th. Happy 4th of July, people in the future. Or I'm watching this on July 5th or July 6th. And Mike, it says that you're live. Well, the rebroadcast is rebroadcasting live if you're in the future. So I hope the future is doing well. For those of you on the 4th of July or the 5th of July, I hope the world hasn't gone to total pandemonium like Morris Day and the Time by then. But if you're here on Tuesday, July 2nd, we are live, and I'm going to open two special packages. I think I might have just blown the lead on this one. And I know that you people are very you have your fetish, you like to see the cut. This is a very sharp pair of scissors. I think I just have another of the same pair. I've been buying all these scissors for those of you that have been watching at home from Temu, Temu. Very nice place to buy scissors. I think you get like 5 of these for $5. It's nice to buy stuff cheap. I am now cutting this box. A lot of people have complimented this Rocky t-shirt. This was another Temu. Oh, God, choking. And I really like to see the cutting of the tape. I got a little too close to my eyes there with the scissors. These scissors, it cannot be stated enough, are not to be played with. They are very sharp scissors. Okay, so that's the thing, folks. A lot of you people probably open your boxes without the use of scissors. I'm at the point now in my life where I'm using scissors to open envelopes, to open packages. I almost refuse, even tightly wrapped food. I want to use a pair of scissors. I don't want to bend my precious fingertips, my fingernails. Let's see. Okay, now here's the thing, folks. I don't really like assembling things, and there is some assembly required. I knew that going into this. I'm really hoping that the assembly required is very little. Oh, God. For those of you that might be wondering, gee whiz, Mike, we haven't seen you on Facebook a whole lot. Well, I've been kicked off the platform. My buddy Carl's chiming in. Carl was a good pal of mine, he still is, who did a nice WrestleMania 2022 video. Carl's got his own YouTube channel, Carl Kate. Carl's in Chicagoland area, not Chicago exactly, of course, but the vicinity. Oh, Jesus. This is tremendously heavy. This is what's in the box. Look at it's got like actual screwdrivers, like screws, like heavy screws are in this thing. My goodness. My buddy there, my boxing buddy, I believe this is a gentleman that I'm scheduled to interview in a few weeks if I'm thinking of the right person, the real Ian Coe. If this is who I'm thinking of, the boxer, we'll be doing an interview in a couple of weeks. I believe on July 12th, if I'm not mistaken. I recently picked up a Honky Tonk Man and Owen Hart shirt. Wrestling shirts are a guilty pleasure. That's true. And I actually do get a lot of compliments when I wear my wrestling t-shirts out and about. A lot of times the NWO shirt, I have a couple of NWO shirts now. People have been intrigued as to what they are. Some people thought it was a Bernie Sanders reference. Okay, folks, in case you're wondering what is this giant monstrosity, and some of you guys, even Carl and Carl might be appreciative of this. This is an exercise bike, like a little exercise pedal bike to put underneath my desk to get a little workout while I'm doing these things. As you know, I spend so much time online, so much time on the computer creating wonderful content for you people that, I need to get my reps in, folks. I need to get my blood flowing. So I figured, why not invest, and I did some nice Amazon price comparisons. There was different models to this thing. I have been exposed to these things in the past, these little exercise bikes that you just put underneath the desk. And I think this one's going to be fine. I think that I will use a yoga mat to not allow this thing to slip and slide all over the place. I am not looking forward to the assembly, but in the last few weeks, folks, you'd be surprised. I've actually gotten better about assembling products. The very chair that I'm sitting in was a Temu purchase, this wonderful office chair. If you can see it, I got it for about $40 and it's really quite nice. It's not overtly comfortable. It's just comfortable enough to get stuff done. You know what I mean? Carl's saying nice headphones. These were an Amazon purchase about 2 years ago, buddy. And you can't find these anymore. At least I can't. The red and the blue. I just like that. It kind of stands out. It's its own thing. I have Redbone Coonhound puppy. Oh, that's nice. Puppies are always nice, buddy. And a Beagle German Shepherd mixed puppy. That sounds like you have a nice little dog show over there, buddy. Chicagoland Dog Show. Very exciting for Carl. Like I said, this one I'm really excited about. If it is what I think it is. Okay, I know you guys have your little fetish. I don't want to fetish shame that you're into the cutting. I do want to encourage your participation, so I'll let you hear that audio. Little bonus cut for you. I know you guys are into that. And no judgment on my behalf. So let's see. Should I get to this question real quick? Thoughts on Chad Gable, the wrestler for WWE? He's very talented. I think in WWE land, sometimes the best and the brightest don't get fully appreciated. I was just watching the former Damian Sandow be interviewed on the Monty and the Pharaoh show. And he was a top guy. He was the first guy to not cash in on the Money in the Bank contract. They were talking about that. WWE is known for just playing favorites, and a lot of times they don't listen to their fans. And I think Chad Gable's one of these guys for 4 or 5 years, or maybe 6 or 7, going back to the Jason Jordan tag team and everything he's done as a good guy, a bad guy, very great talent. And I think, I just don't think they're ever going to utilize a guy like that as much as we'd like to be honest. So I don't think there's anything wrong with Chad Gable. I think it would be interesting if him and the Wyatt Six have like an extended program, because that would kind of be a heel versus heel program, unless there's some type of unification, or if they bring Chad Gable into the Wyatt Six, that might be really interesting. But let's get to our main event, folks. So basically, I think he's an underutilized talent. To answer your question, I think Chad Gable is an underutilized talent who's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. And I just feel like one of these guys that the WWE undervalues and the fans don't. Look up Dolph Ziggler. That guy lived that for 15 years. But let's see what this main event is here. Very exciting. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Wonderful new cover. Now, this is gets into this world of self-publishing, gentlemen. This is my novel, Fighter Play Basketball. Ian would appreciate that. It's got a boxing story. It's got a basketball story, single mom, a kid, a couple of boxers. Look at this wonderful background. Very exciting. That's your buddy. And you wouldn't believe that I actually published this book in 2022. Self-published, and I've gone around the ringer with this thing. I self-published a book, and then it's like, oh wow, look, a typo, and then another typo, and I just got so frustrated that my novel was out there in the public and being read by a few people, but to me, I feel like I had some things in this book, just mostly typographical errors, grammatical things that could be improved. Notice that I didn't say grammatical errors. I said things that could be improved. And I just I couldn't live with myself anymore unless I did a total revamp of this novel. I've been working on that for the last 6 months, including I actually did the new type on the cover first. Now, if you're wondering, well, gee, that's such a wonderful cover lettering. The fight in red is to represent the boxing, and the orange is to represent the basketball. So it's all it's all very surface level stuff here, folks. The subtext is right there. I just felt like I needed to improve this novel before I really push this thing to the outer limits with publicity or whatever I'm going to do with it. And I want to thank a good friend of mine. I was just on the phone with him earlier today about another situation. Benny J. Scala has his forward in the book, which is nice. A one-page forward that Benny did a nice job. And even that, I spent an hour getting his forward to be on one page of the book. So the self-publishing is fun, but it's not easy. It's time-consuming. It's not for everybody. But what I like now is that this novel looks a lot better, in my opinion, than the previous prints. And I was about to say edition. However, I did learn something new. This is not a second edition. This is still the first edition of this novel, even with the vast improvements, even with the nicer design. The novel so far looks fantastic. I'll have to reread this thing a few times to look for clerical errors. The reason it's not a second edition is because I didn't add or subtract any chapters or any vital storylines. There's no character changes. There's no story development changes in this novel. And only if you do that, only if you greatly add a chapter, subtract a chapter, change the name of a major character, any of those things might warrant a second edition for a fictional novel. Second editions are basically supposed to be more for textbooks, school, college textbooks, basically so that they can charge students every couple of years for a new edition. And if any of you fine folks went to college, you know that the cost of textbooks is a small country's fucking budget for a year anyway. So I mean, it's kind of a scam. But in any event, second editions for a fictional novel are really not encouraged because it kind of screws up the whole system as far as the codes of the book, like the UPC codes and all these the ISBN numbers, all these wonderful things. So in any event, if you order this book now, I think Carl has in the past, but if you order it now, it's going to look a little bit tighter. Like I said, the story hasn't changed. So if you have read it, only if you really want to get a new copy, but why don't you? Chapter 32, I even changed the back of the book. I used to have like a little synopsis of the whole novel. Now I just have a little excerpt. So in any event, folks, I'm very excited. I can sense the excitement throughout the world, the universe. Other things going on here with me. I've been exploring my my artwork, my acrylics, as you know, very exciting. Tonight, I'll be going to see a documentary. My buddy Royce Freeman at Sunray Cinema has his First Coast documentary about filmmakers from Jacksonville. Somehow I got interviewed and included. I hope I'm in the final cut. Maybe I'm not. But I will be attending his premiere of this at the Sunray Cinema tonight at 7 p.m. I think the actual bell time is 6:45. I was up till 7 in the morning this morning working on another project, which I will have a big surprise on One Man and a Camera Films. That channel is actually really getting close to the 500 mark for subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to One Man and a Camera Films, that would be something nice for you to do for your buddy. The number one Man in a Camera Films. That's kind of my non-ranting, my nice guy stuff. Messier Mantra and some nice things are over there. As far as the pro wrestling world, I did not, I really stayed away from the combat sports this weekend, folks. I know that the AEW, All Elite Wrestling, had a big pay-per-view. I didn't see it. I went to see the Kevin Costner movie, Horizon, an American Saga Part 1, which I did a nice review on. I thought that was a great movie. I guess I'm one of the people that bought a ticket for the $11 million opening weekend box office. I thought the movie was fantastic and great. So I really do encourage everyone to see that. Sienna Miller, oh my goodness, what a beautiful woman. Speaking of which, Dakota Johnson, I saw her in Daddy-O last night. I did a review on that. Some mixed feelings on that one, although I'm a big fan of Dakota Johnson, the actress. I don't know if this was the best movie, but it certainly wasn't the worst movie. Daddy-O with Sean Penn, and all these exciting things. The UFC I did not see. UFC 303, I did see a YouTube bootlegged version of the main event. The whole Conor McGregor thing, it just seems like Dana's holding on to this guy. That's what that kind of turned me off to UFC for a couple of years, was basically John Jones, Brock Lesnar, and to a much lesser extent, Conor McGregor, how much Dana White, sucked up to these guys and pushed these guys down our throats. I wasn't a big John Jones fan. I wasn't a big Brock Lesnar fan. Conor, I was probably more of a fan of, but when he threw that chair to that bus full of other fighters and the window got crashed, and I think the glass went into a female fighter's eye, and she could have been permanently blinded or whatever. I don't see how you promote a guy like that. And but Dana White does, because it's all about the money. The bitch slap or the power slap stuff, I find that reprehensible. Yes, it's like watching a car accident. It's hard to turn away from it once it's on. But I just feel that it's not a sport, it's a spectacle. Power slap. Dana is so into it. I think it's dumb. And I think the dumbest thing about it is, who slaps first? They flip a coin. I don't get it. I really don't. I just think that's like Demolition Man 1984, when the decline of society comes. What I like about Ultimate Fighting is that it's an actual sport. And yes, Ultimate Fighting, UFC in particular, has gotten away from, who would win in a real fight. That used to be the question with UFC. It's not like that anymore. Now it's an actual sport with rules. If it was a real fight, you'd take out a weapon and smash someone in the head with it. But it's a competitive sport. There's rules. No fish hooking, no eye gouging, no low blows, no biting of the ear like Mike Tyson. So I like UFC. I like MMA. I wasn't too happy that they merged with WWE. Yeah, good for them. I just don't like it, and everything else. So we saw that a few weeks ago when UFC did a big Saudi Arabian show. And how much money talks. Anyway, I'm digressing, but the real story here, folks, is that I got this nice exercise under the desk bike. If you missed that portion of our live cast, go back and watch it. Fighter play basketball. It looks fantastic. Everything's laid out beautifully. Now I get to have another week where I read this thing. See, that's the thing. You're never quite done. And I'm sure, I'm already setting myself up. I'm sure that there'll be one little typo, one little semicolon that should have been a period, one little V that should have been an and, or something of that nature. And I'll get all excited and I'll get all pissed off. And then I'll have to go and I'll have to tweak this thing again. But that's part of the fun, folks. That's part of the fun of being me. You can leave a comment, you can leave a question, you can leave a topic. Once again, One Man in the Camera Films. For my own film work, there'll be some new stuff on there real soon. One artist, Mike Messier, for my wonderful acrylics. You can even purchase some on eBay. You can go to MikeMessier.com and scroll to the bottom, where you'll find all my social media links and this wonderful book. And the movie reviews, like I said, American Horizon, I think that's the go-to movie. A Quiet Place, Day One, disappointing. I just feel like it just didn't deliver anything new. It was just the same stuff that we saw in the first two, and so on and so forth. But have a good week, folks. It's Tuesday. It kind of feels like Monday to me. And nice to see everyone. Thanks for checking in. MikeMessier.com.